Hello, welcome back to LIVENODING468 Live Coding. In this episode, I'm gonna talk a little bit about index of components of Polygon. Normally, this is probably not something that you often think about. Let's say you have like a cube in 3D scene, and then normally you don't think about the index number or the order of the polygon face. But if we go into Sverchok, we can actually see the index numbering quite easily. So if you use objects in, for example, and then you use the viewer index, you grab this box, and if you plug this guy into the viewer index, you can see the index number of the vertices. Uh, which is also pretty important, but in this case I want to focus on the polygon face. So I'm gonna plug in this guy into the face and then turn off the index of the vertices, and I'm gonna turn on the index for the face. And you can see this is the first, which is the index 0 is the first of the polygon face, and then we get the second one, which is this one on the top, and then the third one, and the fourth, and then so on. So we only have 6 faces in this case. It's not like that you might seem it's not very important, but if you try using like a modifier like a build modifier, you will see that as we scrub, you see the polygon face is being generated in order. So 0, 1, and then 2, and then 3, and 4, and 5 until we get the full cube. And that's only for a cube. Imagine if you have like a grid, and let's say if you have like a grid by default have how many? 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 81. 81 polygon face. If I grab that thing and kind of reset the position, we can see how the grid polygon face being arranged, and if we apply a build modifier, this guy will be generated based on that order. So that's very important. And I'm kind of thinking, hey, maybe we can kind of play around with the index sorting inside Sverchok, and that's of course possible. Let me save this first. This is looking at polygon face index, and we can of course scramble and do kind of like a sorting of the index. So we have a few nodes that's dealing with sorting. List sorting, I think, is very interesting. There's also component or a sort, vector sort might be it. You can also do some kind of sorting based on the XYZ distant axis. So I have not actually tried this yet. Maybe I will not touch this, but I'm kind of showing it to you. There's also object ID sorting, which is they're all kind of interesting in itself. But for now, I think list sorting is the easiest one. You just plug in the polygon data, and then if you put in the right number of keys or the number, it can easily resort the data. I'll try to do that. Sorting is not the easiest thing to understand. I think if you're even if you use nodes for a while, this might be like a subject you hardly touch. So let's say I want to sort this polygon. I know the fact that we can kind of randomize the data this way. So we have how many? 81. So we have 81 data, and let me quickly check here. 0, 1, 2, 3. This is the original sorting. The index sorting is like this. But if I'm not wrong, we can just use like a random number and give it a size of 81. integer low and height also 81, and then if we plug this value into the keys, we sort of randomize the index already. And if you look, if you scrub, this is actually the original one, but if you generate another, if we output this mesh with a new list sorted polygon face, we're gonna have a different result. I'll do that real quick. So viewer bmesh, plug this into there, and then the polygon face indices there. And I will actually shift this guy a little bit. So this is the polygon face. I will use move. I'm gonna shift it slightly to the side. This is the new mesh, and I will show you the wire. And I will apply build modifier as well for this guy, and you will see the way this guy is being generated. Start from this guy at 0, and then slowly it's this is 0, this is 1, and then where's the next one? Number 2, which is that guy, and then 3, 4, and then so on and so on. So suddenly we scrambled the polygon index of this mesh. So this is the original, as you see, the original grid, and then this is the new one. And that's actually really interesting. You can easily scramble it further simply by using the seed here. So that's if you're doing it random. If you ever ask, what if you want to kind of like maybe use like a grease pencil, kind of like a reorder this index based on a grease pencil, for example, or using some kind of algorithm. Maybe you want to control the index a little bit more, like I don't know, maybe you want to order the index in a way that's like more random, but it's actually kind of like a more like a maze. That's actually for the next live noding, and I got help from the Sverchok developer. That's actually possible using some of Sverchok nodes like KD3 and stuff. A little bit more complex, but I think that's really interesting. I'll show you a preview. I think this is the result. You see here, this is the original one, and if I use a build modifier, you see the original doesn't have order. It's like scrambled, but the one on the right actually follows the grease pencil stroke, which is really incredible. If you think about it, if you ever let's say I change the grease pencil, for example, I make another grease pencil layer, and then I'm gonna draw it. This is gonna be like the new sorted polygon face. Okay, this guy, and then I'm gonna assign it into this guy, and then you see the result right away. So 0, 1, 2, 3, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Everything is following the grease pencil stroke. You see? Yeah, I think I found this quite fascinating. Actually, it's not something that's normal, yeah, not very easy to do, but using Sverchok is actually doing it using nodes. It kind of makes sense. Yeah, there's actually another way to do this. If you are using like a list masking, it is also possible. It's kind of a little bit more like a hacky, but this is more correct way to do it. And then maybe in the next live noding video, I'll try to go through and break down this node setup. This is not, I didn't make this. This is by Nikitron, and he's one of the Sverchok developer, and then he understands Sverchok very well, I think, and but even by just by looking at his node tree, I kind of get it what's actually going on. So ordering and sorting the index of the components of the mesh is actually something that you can do quite easily inside Sverchok. That's actually my main point based on this video. So yeah, anyway, I guess I'll continue in next live noding. If you have any suggestion and feedbacks, let me know in the comment section below. Thanks again for tuning in. I'll see you in the next video.